What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto. I'm very excited to be talking about DigiByte today. We've recently seen the success of DigiCafe. I think that this is one step closer to the full realization of the project. Of course, a small stepping stone in the grand scheme of things, but the journey of 1,000 steps starts with a single mile. And when we talk about DigiByte and we talk about all these different variables, I think that it's important to see how DigiByte's been working to iron out a lot of these important intricacies as far as the variables go. And did you know that DigiByte is now fully accessible from the wallet's drop-down menu without a need for a custom backend, says Trezor in a recent tweet 15 hours ago now. I mean, it is interesting to see because, Trezor's well versed in basically all the cryptocurrency community has to pay attention to these different basically paper wallets that are made available for people. It's a decent little accessory for people who like that sort of thing. So World Debt Clock still ticking, of course. I think that it's always great to revisit the World Debt Clock because when we talk about cryptocurrency, it's tough to really take into consideration the grand scope of all these different things without actually referencing the overall functionality of the system that cryptocurrency aims to integrate and assimilate and in certain places overtake. So when we talk about the different news that we've been seeing, I mean, DigiByte stabilizes as new DigiCafe hit the market, and I think that this is an interesting article by the Crypto Recorder. It goes into interesting, almost really amazing detail for a news outlet like the Crypto Recorder. Not to give them too much credit, but they do a decent job talking about DigiCafe, and I think that what we've seen happen so far as DigiByte is concerned, I mean, when I would say the Achilles heel right now for Bitcoin, it's going to be fees. Who wants to pay the fees when it comes to Bitcoin? Really, nobody. Nobody's paying the fees. Like it's like people are either not associated because there's just easier ways of doing it. And the fact of the matter is, DigiByte's faster. It eliminates fees where it seems like it can. Obviously, there's going to be fees to some extent, but it just seems so overbearing and exploitative on that regard. And I think that it's eventually going to lead to Bitcoin's peril. Now, I'm not going to shit on Bitcoin because they've done an excellent job with marketing and all these things, all these variables where they're concerned. I would say Bitcoin's definitely done a good job establishing themselves in the public conversation. The overall, as these things move forward, Bitcoin was one of those traditional the names that's on the tip of people's tongue and don't necessarily even know about cryptocurrency. But I think that DigiByte's really waiting in the rafters on this one as far as when we'll see DigiByte overtaking a lot of these different cryptos. Well, that sort of goes hand in hand with what we can be expecting in terms of the action plan and the timeline of DigiByte and all these different things. But I'd say a ray of hope and something that everybody should take mind and pay attention to is the team that's working on DigiByte, and of course the fact that DigiByte's well spread across all multiple areas of the world, and I think that these are all going to be variables that culminate and move forward in a very interesting way. So I'm definitely excited to see, and I think if you're interested in seeing things move forward, I mean, you should definitely show your support on DigiByte, dear DigiByte community. The DigiByte awareness team needs your help. It's a wonderful, volunteers or whatever, if that's your thing. I mean, that's something I figured I'd just give a few small seconds of time just to show my respect for the fact that the community's working in such an interesting way. That money reimagined. I mean, you see, you got the Apple App Store right there. I think that it's I mean, hey, I think that DigiByte has some really interesting things going for it now. I mean, stuff like these Christmas giveaway and stuff like that. I mean, it's all good stuff as far as educating the public and getting people aware, and all these different things, which are really essential to having these key breakthroughs. And I mean, when we talk about blockchain, we definitely need to talk about, well, when we talk about any cryptocurrency, I think that the fact that DigiByte has a solid blockchain, blockchain is really out of its infancy phases now, and we're starting to see basically the start of the paradigm that's occurring, and the paradigm shift essentially at its core of where blockchain is actually having a real interesting overlap and really working within a lot of these different variables of how things operate, which was before retroactively unimaginable on a broader scale. But I think as these things continue to move in the direction that they're headed, and DigiByte's definitely one of the technologies that's shown a lot of the signs for having a key understanding of what's to be expected as far as the functionality of these things go. And we talk about it all the time on here. The future is decentralized, and all these things as they go. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see all these different things as they've been culminating and progressing, especially current year, next year and the year after that. All realistically, it's some good stuff. I mean, the reputation that DigiByte is established for itself as far as safety, all these things are concerned, especially in the era that we're moving towards with the accessibility of computing power that the average person has. That's never really been something that came into people's minds. But when we talk about the current mechanisms of storage of data, the centralized aspects just clearly don't work. And when we talk about the fact that DigiByte's been making all of these key developments and leveraging a working blockchain already, I'd say DigiByte's very much leagues ahead of the competition, who probably don't even know that they're in competition with DigiByte yet. And I think that all these things are going to be key, substantial, really important things to look at as the time moves ticks forward. We've been seeing some very good work by the DigiByte awareness team, awareness, adoption, integration, education. And realistically, what blockchain means to me, what I really look forward to seeing as far as blockchain, I think that this was said by John McCafe pretty beautifully in an interview. And it's basically the fact that blockchain means for the world a reconsideration of history and the way that history is going to be recorded. They say that history starts with the invention and the application of blockchain, and I'd really be inclined to believe, I mean, the fact that this could bring out the truth and really make the truth more valuable, and I think it's a really great leverage ability for the internet. Of course, this is an interesting thing right here. DigiByte first UK event, London meetup, Jared Tate, and this guy right here, Daniel. It's an interesting CEO and founder of DX Exchange. That was an interesting tweet right there, piece of interesting content. But yeah, all that being said, I mean, DigiByte definitely is interesting to see how the rudiments of these at such an early stage. DigiByte Coin announces a SIC pronunciation in next generation. So I mean, DigiByte has recently announced that it will become ASIC resistant in turn. That it will decentralize its network as well. I think decentralization is critical, and it's going to be a huge thing that's going to work in DigiByte's favor moving forward. This also right here, this cryptocurrency cash exchange, a real interesting look into the future, and I think that it's definitely awesome to be so early in the picture looking at these things. I mean, it might not happen overnight. I mean, tomorrow would probably be a lot looking similar to today. Things I predict will probably move sideways for quite some time, while they iron out a lot of these different variables. But rest assured, once things pick up, they relatively pick up pretty quickly. Just remember, last year, this time last year, we were right on the Christmas Eve of seeing cryptocurrency go on the highest bull run in recorded history. And let's just hope that there's something like, keep that in our prayers for what could happen in the future. But yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're interested, you could connect with us. That's at CryptoTuber, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Of course, make sure to comment down below. Let us know what you think. Maybe tell us what you think about the global debt calculator and how cryptocurrency is going to factor into this. I'd love to see some comments talking about blockchain. What are your perspectives on DigiByte and all these things? But of course, remember, this video is just my opinion. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I've always loved to hear what your opinion is, and remember, I'm not an advisor. Remember, I'm not your dad. I'm just making these videos so that I can tell you what I think. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.